Okay, so let me get started because I have about a 20-minute presentation, and I'm hoping that you were going to like what I'm going to talk about. So we're entering our third year of teaching people and working with people in Cook County currently. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you for joining. So we're working in Cook County. It's the beginning of the year. We've already purchased 2 properties from people that were about to lose them for having delinquent taxes. And because we have the lending company, private lending group, we're going to combine both of these. And basically, here's the reason for this webinar. We're looking for motivated individuals who want to make money, either selling money, loan brokering, hard money loans, private money loans, soft money loans, to real estate investors, or people who want to earn money flipping delinquent tax property redemption rights, basically, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. So my background is I've been a mortgage broker, lender, banker for the last 30 years, and our primary business is private lending group. Private lending group lends money to real estate investors in about a dozen states. I am from Chicago, so my original and the state that we loan the most amount of money or lend the most amount of money is the Chicagoland marketplace. So we have 2 programs right now that are available to you. One is a rehab, 1-year short-term loan program, and the other is a rental. A rental program is a 30-year loan program with rates below 10%, so we call it soft money. It's a 30-year loan with a 5-year AM, and you can see the requirements. Don't get confused with this. When I put no FICO or we'll take a low FICO, that don't mean the line above where it says we can get 8% interest applies to those people. The 8% applies to the people that qualify, that have high FICOs and high cash flow and high net worths. And then, of course, the people that need to make exceptions on FICOs, income, seasoning, bankruptcies, foreclosures, they pay a premium for the rate. So basically what we do for income verification, we don't ask for tax returns. We ask for 4 to 6 months bank statements to show that you have some cash flow that you can afford this loan that you're going into. We don't have any seasoning requirements. We will close in the name of a trust, an LLC, and we will look at and fund people that have had bankruptcies or foreclosures in the past. So the reason why you're on the line, I hope, is that you're thinking that maybe you need to borrow some money, or you know some people who need to borrow some money that could help them grow their investment business in 2019. And we don't want to make this complicated. I'm not here to try to teach you how to be a loan officer. I have 30 years training of being a loan officer. I love being a loan officer. It's been very, very good to me over the last 30 years. But I want to simplify this for you. In order to make some money by referring deals to us, we only need a limited amount of basic information. And this information is very important that you need to know this, because if you know this and you figure out how to ask these questions in the right order, you'll know whether you're wasting your time or not with people that are qualified or unqualified. Because as much as I want to say, well, it's easy to get a loan from us. Oh, we have competitive programs. Oh, we're going to take good credit and bad credit. We also have to qualify every loan, which means that there has to be compensating factors or reason to fund a loan, right? We're not just doing any loan on any property in any location. And I'll expand upon it as the webinar goes on. So I would like to just share with you the 7 simple questions that you need to ask people to figure out whether it's a good deal or not. And the first question, every time we get a call into the office or somebody emails me, is I need to know if it's owner or non-owner occupied. And the reason I need to know that is we do not fund owner occupied. Owner occupied requires that you or me become licensed through the National Mortgage Licensing System, and we take the tests and all that. Now, I've been licensed as a mortgage broker for 20-something years, but to do the loans that we do, we are under the business purpose exemption. So we only do business purpose loans. So a non-owner occupied property, most of them are considered business purpose. As a matter of fact, every once in a blue moon, we do owner occupied. And there's the one exception for that is, and I'll just tell you, because we do make the exception, is that the property was already in a corporation before they applied with us. We won't allow them to put the property in a corporation to get the loan, but the property was already in the corporation, and then it made sense for us to do it because that way we avoided the NMLS requirements. So number one, is property owner or non-owner occupied? Once we know that, I want to know the location. Why do I want to know the location? The first thing I do as soon as one of you on the phone calls me or somebody calls me, is I look up the property online. Is the property a pretty property or an ugly property? Is the property in a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood? And because I think I know Chicago pretty well, as soon as I get to the address, I go online and look. And if I don't know a city or state where it calls from, same thing. I go online and I look, and then I can start pulling comps and automated evaluations like while I'm on the phone with people. So I want to know the address. Then I want to know one of two questions. What is the value or what is the purchase price? If you already own the property, then I want to know what is the value, what did you pay for it? If you are buying the property, I want to know what are you paying for it, what is the rehab, and what do you think it's going to be worth? So that's question number 3. Now, question number 4 is how much do you owe? So why am I asking what is the value, what do you owe? Very simple. I want to know loan to value. Do you have equity? Because if you tell me you owe 50 and you want to borrow, and the house is worth 100 and you want to borrow another 50, that means you want to borrow 100% of the value. And we don't do those types of loan. Our maximum loan to value is about 75%, and oftentimes less than that. When I ask you what is the purchase price and how much you want to borrow, once again, I'm trying to figure out, do you have skin in the game? And this is what you want to know. If somebody says, I want to buy a property for 300 and I need 100 to fix it up because the after value is going to be 600, that sounds like maybe it's a good deal, right? You're at 65% loan to value. But really, if you don't have any skin in the game, it's not going to be a deal for us. Exception unless you have another asset with a lot of equity. Then we can cross-collateralize, and you won't have to put money down on that new purchase. And we do that often also. It's a backwards type of lines of credit that we've created to help some of our clients. Question number 5. Does the property need rehab? And if so, how much? Do you have a scope of work? Are you going to need to pull permits? Do you have a licensed contractor? Are you doing your work yourself? We want to know what's involved in this project and see if it's something that you can handle and that we can work with you. Now, question number 6, what is the property type and income? I could see the property type normally online as I'm looking at the asset, but I also want you to tell me what it is because maybe it's been converted or deconverted. And also I want to know if there's any income or not. Obviously, income helps you qualify because that's additional income to your regular income. And then last but not least, how soon do you need to close? One of our great things that we like about our company is that we can close quickly. And our basic promise to you is that we can close in 7 to 10 days from the time you sign your loan approval and pay for your property inspection. So those simple 7 questions are what, if you ask those questions before you submit a deal to us, you'll know whether or not you got a good deal. And I think when you talk to people that are looking for a loan and you ask these 7 questions, it's pretty simple. If they answer these questions and you believe them and you believe that there's equity, that would go into, I think I can do this pile. If they don't answer these questions properly, or it doesn't sound like they have equity or any money or credit or whatever, then that would go into the no pile. And then there's going to be some deals you're just not sure, you're going to need more information, and that goes into the maybe file. And then that maybe file means that you would write that up, put it in an email, send as much information as possible in an email, and to ask somebody here at our company to take a look and see if it's something that we could help fund in the future. Here's a copy of our loan application. You can download our loan application on our website, privatelendinggroups.com. And I will be sharing some other links for you that want to fill out an online application. We have a PDF online version, so they don't have to print this. They can fill it out online, hit the send button, and we receive it in-house. So how do you submit loans to Private Lending Group? As we talked about before, you should download our loan programs, those color brochures that I showed you a couple of slides ago, from our website, privatelendinggroups.com. Once you think that the people qualify, you should write up a simple 1-page loan summary If you have a loan application, submit it. If you don't have a loan application and you think it's a good deal, fill out the loan application or have your customer fill out the loan application and send that in. Once you submit those to us, well, obviously credit plays a factor. So if the borrower signs it, gives us authorization to pull credit. If not, you can submit a copy of a recent credit report that is dated within the last 30 to 60 days. But we need to have a FICO score. So we don't need those 75-page free credit reports that don't have a FICO. I hate those things. The credit reports we run are mortgage credit reports, and they're typically 2 or 3 pages, and they're very much summarized, so they're easy to read. So once you submit a deal, if you submit enough information for us to make a decision, same as you, we're going to say yes, no, or maybe. And if you do that enough times, it should be very profitable to you. Okay, so now we're going to cut into the other part of this webinar. Now there's 2 parts. The first part is the loan brokering, and we look forward to working with you. You are allowed, let me just add, you are allowed to add 1 or 2% to the HUD to receive your commission if you submit loans to us for business purposes. Okay, so 1 or 2% of the loan amount is allowed to be on the HUD. You or your corporation could be named. So let's talk about the opportunity in Cook County specifically. Now there's 3,300 counties across the United States, but this is the one I'm most familiar with. It's the one where many of you online are familiar with. And you can do this in Florida and Texas and other states. We're doing our best to expand into other states. We're expanding into Texas and Nevada right now with the delinquent taxes. And it can be done in many states. Now, let me tell you what this is and not is. I know that there's a lot of companies out there teaching people, and they have, I hear commercials on the radio, on the internet, and I hear commercials, and I see them on, as I travel the web, I see different companies that are teaching you how to buy tax certificates. This webinar is not about how to buy tax certificates. What we do is a thing called fee picking, and let me explain. So in Cook County, every year, Cook County wants people to pay their property taxes. If the people do not pay their property taxes, let me go to the next slide, this kind of helps. If a property owner does not pay the property taxes, the government still wants that money. They need that money to pay the county workers, the county infrastructure, and everything associated with the county. So if the county needs to collect that money, they sell the property taxes, and they sell those to tax buyers. They sell tax certificates. And in Illinois, if you're a tax certificate purchaser, you could earn 6, 10, 12, up to 24% on your money. And there is a 3-year redemption that you have to buy the taxes for 3 years. And if you buy the taxes for 3 years, then at the end of the 3 years, you file the proper paperwork with the county court system, and the county gives it a redemption date. It's not an auction date like the foreclosures in Cook County. It's a redemption date. You don't go in front of a judge on that particular date. You've had 3 years to go in front of the judge. So what happens in Cook County, and this just happened last week at the end of January, was that on the 30th and the 31st, hundreds of properties expired. And we were talking to some of those people. 2 of the families we helped, many of them, and Justin sitting in the room with me, he told me that one property in Barrington was worth like $1 million, and it looks like they didn't redeem. We had been talking to those property owners, trying to convince them to either get a loan with us or sell us the property, and they didn't do it. So we'll talk more about that. But so the county needs their money, they sell the taxes, and what happens is the property tax owner, if he does not pay those taxes before the redemption date, the tax buyer then could submit the proper paperwork to Cook County and get a deed to the property. And what's so awesome about this deed is that it wipes out any encumbrances, meaning if there's other mortgages, liens, IRS, City of Chicago water bills, they all get wiped out. Why do I say that? Because the city of Chicago will not negotiate on water bills. And in this case, we've called them a few times and said, hey, you're going to be wiped out next week. Why don't you reduce this water bill? And they say, the city does not reduce water bills. And we say, okay, sucker. And then they rather take nothing than something. That's the government working for us, right? Okay. Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for people that want to do several things. Joint venture with us, partner with us, or simply be a bird dog. In order to do a true joint venture, you need to bring up some money, put some money or equity into the deal. But if you don't have any money, then we will do the bird dog system, which I'll share with you in the next slide. So for those of you out there that are in different parts of Cook County, we have a list right now of about 800 people with no mortgages, 800 properties. And we're talking about single-family homes, multi-units, condos, commercial, and land. And these people are going to lose these properties over the next 1 to 6 months if they don't redeem the taxes. What we do is we try to negotiate with the homeowner or the property owner before they lose the property. The property owner has all the rights to pay off his taxes and redeem his taxes up until his redemption date. And we literally have our attorney going to the county and paying the taxes the day before and the day of the taxes being due. And this is the value that we can bring you. So what do we need you to do? We need you to help us talk to more property owners. We're already marketing to these property owners, but we need some people that can knock on doors and use their resources on the ground to connect to these properties. Vacant land, vacant properties. These people have already walked away from the property. We're looking at a property on West Jackson, just on the other side of Western right now. It's been vacant for years. It's a 2-flat, and they're going to lose it on the 13th or 14th. On the 13th of February. So we're trying to sit down with these people and trying to strike a deal, a win-win situation where they could get some money and we could either buy it or lend them the money if they qualify. So we will do joint venture and partnerships. We're not like a bank. We basically can make our decisions in a day or so, fund the deals in the same week. Okay, so what do we offer our affiliates? So currently, I got good news for you. We do not charge you for becoming an affiliate for Private Lending Group or Better Way Investments, LLC, in the first quarter of 2019. We are putting this all together. We're going to put it into a package in the future, and we will require, and we will have people paying us in the future to be our affiliates in Illinois and other states. But right now, because we already know that we've already proved proof of concept. We know this works. We're buying properties every month, selling the properties, but we're looking to get affiliates, people that want to joint venture and people that want to bird dog with us to go out there and knock on some doors and bring us some deals and share some profits together. So what we offer is access to capital for investor loans if you want to broker a loan, tax foreclosures, and if you know anybody that has a super duper deal, but they don't have any money, and that might be you, and it's like a no-brainer. If you just knew that guy that had the money, we want to be that guy. We want to be that guy where you're like, oh, listen, Dan, I could buy this property for 100. It needs 100 to be fixed up, and here's 5 comps that shows that it sells for 400 or 350 all day long. Those types of deals, if you have them and they're in good areas and everything makes sense, we want you to bring those deals to us. We are willing to provide to you the capital. We're willing to provide you the list of property owners and the list of people that are delinquent and about to lose their property for delinquent taxes. We're going to deliver that to you for free. And we've already scrubbed the list, meaning we already went through it and took out the people with mortgages and took out the people that already paid off their taxes, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to help you to teach you how to qualify some of these people for loans. Some of the people actually qualify for loans, and some of them don't. So then we end up figuring out how to purchase them. We even can provide you and teach you how to pull phone numbers and emails for the property owner and their relatives. So how the property tax bird dog program works. We select motivated people that we want to work with. There's a sign-up page link at the end of this webinar. We provide lists and data. We provide marketing. We have leave behind material that you could leave behind at the property address and the neighbors' properties addresses. We prepare all the documents for the loans or the sale. We have attorneys that are downtown, right a block away from City Hall, who are seasoned with us over the last several years, who basically drop everything when we have a hot deal and get these things funded in literally days. So steps to get started. So to become an affiliate, we have a bird dog and a commission plan that you can sign. We want to put the commission plan in writing so there's no there's no disagreement about what we promised you. So we have that program. You can register online at the URL that you see here. I think you can download it from our website, privatelendinggroups.com, resources. Just let us know how many hours and days that you can work and what part of the city that you work, because our lead manager, Justin, will work with you. He'll help you find the property owners that are near you or near where you work, so you're not going out of your way trying to find these people. He'll help you with the marketing materials. He'll help you get the phone numbers and help you to help us and create a win-win situation. So who are these programs for? Just to reiterate, these are for real estate investors and hungry individuals. We're looking for people who know people that need to borrow money, realtors, regular mortgage brokers, fix and flip people, wholesalers. And we can do loans. Currently, we do loans in about 12 states. Our number one state that we fund is Illinois. We just closed a loan in Indiana. We're closing another deal in Wisconsin. So we do fund in the Midwest, up all the way up to New Jersey. Then we go down to Florida, Georgia, and then back to Texas and Nevada. So if you have a no-brain deal in some part of the country, feel free to send us the deal. A no-brainer means this. You look at the property, it's $150,000. All the properties in the neighborhood are $150,000, and they only need to borrow 50, 60 cents on the dollar. And of course, they don't live in it. So that's a no-brainer. You give me a property that's in rural Arkansas with the nearest comp is 17 miles away, that would not be considered a no-brainer. So here's a couple of examples of people that we helped in the past year or so who were losing their property for taxes. The first one, the property in Bellwood, we helped the family walk away with $13,000. He had actually went past the redemption date when he called me. We called up the property tax buyer, and some of them will actually grant an extension. This company actually granted him an extra 30 days, which gave us time to put the property on the market, sell it, and he earned $13,000. We had another gentleman who inherited a property from his mother. Property was all old and beat up, and he went with us over one of the competitors, and we have a video somewhere, but he walked away with a check of $50,000 and he was literally, once again, a week away from losing the property and getting nothing. And then there's another property on Lockwood Street in Chicago and another deal in Maywood. So the question is, what deals can you bring and we can work on together to help people walk away with something? And of course, we made commissions on all these, and we made very good commissions. And I don't want to brag about the commissions we made, but we made really great commissions for helping these people. We definitely are looking for win-win situations. So how to get started? If you want to submit a loan application, you can download our loan application online under privatelendinggroups.com/resources. Or if you have somebody who wants to complete the online application, there is it's a weird link. We need to turn that into a Word or something easier, and I'll try to do that in the future. But that is the link to do an online application where they don't have to print it. They can sign it electronically, fill out all the same. It's the same exact application as the paper one, but it can be done online. And if you want to receive the current bird dog compensation plan and sign up docs, there is the link there. So I will I'm trying to look here. Does anybody have any questions? I will keep this recording and I will put it online in case you missed it or you want to share it with somebody. And tell if after this webinar you can email me and tell us the areas that you're looking to work in and tell us how you think we could work together. We are looking for win-win situations for either brokering loans or buying and selling properties. Okay. Justin, any questions? Do you have to be a licensed broker? You do not have to be a licensed broker to do these business purpose loans, right? These are business purpose loans, and you don't need to be a broker in order to do the tax deals. So that's the answer to that. How about Dallas, Texas? We love Dallas, Texas, Larry. We actually, our business partners are down there this week. They're setting up an office up in Plano. And I've been down there 3 times last year. And we're doing loans in Austin and Houston. So yeah, we look forward to trying to expand in Texas. Okay, no other questions. I want to thank everybody for spending the time. Let me talk for a little bit and share with you what we're doing. Please contact me if you have any income opportunities or figure out a way we could mutually make some money in 2019. Have a good night.